Hey, it's Pavi, and welcome back. I am on to my first newsletter of 2023. Very exciting times. Now, this is going to be a shorter update. It's mainly just on project progress because I did make a little bit of a leap as to what I'm working on. But yeah, it'll mainly be on that. There's not a ton that happened this month because of exams, but I just finished my final exam, so that feels good. And I'm also going to be giving a few updates about what is yet to come with the coming month. So let's get on to this very quick update. So here is the major update. So when I did update you guys last time, I had two potential avenues I was taking for the project. So the main one that I was considering was essentially creating a proposal. So what I realized was that when you have to create any very complex system for healthcare, like analyzing Parkinson's with your voice, you have to have a multimodal system. So you can't just have one system, like a voice-based biomarker, and say, oh, I can simply diagnose Parkinson's with someone saying, ah. So instead, you actually have to have a multimodal system where you have multiple classifiers about multiple different biomarkers to then analyze and diagnose the disease. So in this case, I started understanding that and looking into potential other avenues. And I started looking into facial and voice biomarkers acting together to then diagnose Parkinson's, which was a great idea. But then I realized that there's absolutely no data out there regarding facial biomarkers and Parkinson's. It's a pretty niche thing to have data on. So then I talked to a few researchers in the space and then realized this data problem was very extensive throughout the entire industry. So no matter what thing or what disease you're trying to diagnose, there's always going to be a lack of data. I thought that was a very weird problem, which obviously it's a data issue across AI, but it hinders a lot of applications to even be built. So I was talking to a few coaches and then decided to change the perspective on the project, and rather than looking at it from I want to diagnose Parkinson's, instead saying, oh, all of these people have access to build these great classifiers and great models, but they just don't have the data. So why don't I take on the role of trying to get data? And so right now I'm looking at how we can do mass data collection for specific voice-based biomarkers. Right now I'm focusing on Parkinson's, but then after that it might expand into things like Alzheimer's, other cognitive diseases, or other maybe, cardiovascular issues. So right now I'm looking at that, and I also recently got funded by 1517, so shout out to 1517, they're a great fund, and I got some money and funding to obviously help with that, and so in the near future I'll be using that to help out with data collection and servers. So if you do have anyone in your space or anyone that you know of that has also done data collection or mass data collection or has worked with health data and clinics, then please reach out and let me know, because it would be of great help. I'm trying to figure this out in the next month, and hopefully we'll have a validated idea in the next month that I can then go out and build. And I said that this was going to be a short newsletter, and I meant it, because the rest of this update is just kind of what is going on in February. So there are two main things that I hope to get out of the month of February. The first one is working on the Pi Challenge. So I'm a part of Activate, which is a program in the Knowledge Society, which is a human accelerator program. And in Activate, we're doing our Pi Challenge, which essentially we partner up with a company and we consult for them. But I did this last year with Walmart Blue Labs, ended up getting an internship from them, but this year it's a bit different because it's problems incentivized by economics, Pi. So we're looking really deep into financial analysis, economics, and how we can create a viable, feasible solution for these companies. So it's going to be kicking off this Saturday. I'm very, very excited, and there will be more information near the end of February more about who the partner is and what our team is kind of working on. But that is going to be super exciting, and majority of my days will be spent working on Pi with my incredible team. And then the second thing I want to come out of is what I mentioned earlier about coming out with a validated idea of what I want my project for voice-based biomarkers and data collection to actually be. So whether it's an app or something that is embedded into an existing medical device, I do want to have some validation of an idea, and that also means having consistent progress over the month. So every single day I'll be spending a minimum of 30 minutes to up to an hour just on that project, so I can continue increasing momentum. Those are kind of the two main things that will be updated in February as well, just a little bit of an outlook on the year. And yeah, those are kind of the main things. I'm also revamping up the Remind podcast. So that's a podcast that I had with two of my other friends, and we think the podcast was great, but there was a lot of improvement we could have made. So we decided to kind of take a zoomed out view of it, and now we're revamping how we're going to format the actual podcast. So look out for some cool episodes or cool reformatting that you might see in the near future. But yeah, that basically sums up what has happened in the month of January. A lot more has happened, but this is more on the school side. So hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions, please reach out, or anyone that can be of use for my data collection project, please reach out, and I will see you guys soon in February. See ya!